Today I feel like playing some games, and some Blitz games, 5 minutes per player, and I'm going to show you how I think in chess. Obviously I'm going to make mistakes, otherwise I would be playing like Magnus Carlsen, but it's not the case. I'm going to try to explain you how I think. It's going to be 5 minutes per player, so I'm going to try to do everything I can to explain my thought process, but obviously I'm going to be playing some moves without having time to actually explain it. Let's get to it. Let's see for the first game who we're playing. We're playing someone from India who's 2137, and we're going to play the Carocann defense. So we're going to pre-move this. He decides to play with knight f3 and knight c3. That's a good variation. I like actually playing take on e4. You can also play moves like bishop g4. That's well known. And here just bishop f5. It's all known territory here. And here he can play different ways. He can also play moves like this. His idea is to play bishop d3, for instance. My plan here is going to be very simple. I'm going to play e6, knight f6, the bishop comes on d6, and castle as soon as I can. The pawn structure for black is amazing. I mean, we don't have any weakness. He's playing more on the passive side. It tells me that he's more like a quiet type of player. This is something that you need to when you see someone playing an opening that is quiet. Here I think just queen b6 is fine, right? If he takes, I take with the pawn, and that's perfectly fine. Bishop c4. He's not targeting anything here. He's gonna have knight e5 at some point, I guess. So I'm just gonna play bishop d6. I don't think he can take. Obviously, take. Queen take and bishop e7 I think is fine. There is no issue. You can play queen c8 check, but we have queen d8, or even like bishop d8 is also fine. Here he decides to play this, knight bd7, to actually not have to take with this pawn. That makes sense. And then castle. Either here or long castle. Depends. We have both options now. And here, I mean, that's gonna be like a game where we're gonna challenge this pawn by playing c5 most of the time. Here he wants to take some space on the queen side. I think that's a good move. We're going to play h6 in case he wants to play knight h4 to actually bother this bishop. We'll have a move like bishop h7, for instance. Here he comes on e3, and I believe he wants to play something like d5. I don't see why we couldn't play a move like c5 ourselves here, for instance. Now we castled. We're going to play the rook on c8, rook on e8. This kind of things. I'm gonna try to speak less because I may lose on time. That's not a good feeling. I mean, the position is fine. I mean, we could exchange queens, like for instance. There's also a way to play, and then maybe bishop d3 is interesting. And if he plays rook d1, maybe I have c4 like this. And also winning a tempo, right? Now maybe what he can do is maybe take on c5, but I don't think that works because I take the rook, he takes on d6, and the bishop just retreats. So that doesn't work. Okay, he decides to play this. I don't think that works, but you know, you never know. Maybe bishop d3. And now, I mean, I think we're clearly better. We're just gonna play rook c8 at some point. Okay, now we come back here. And now actually what is happening is that his pawn is actually closing his own column. This is a problem in this position that he has. Now I can play b6 because I don't want him to play actually c5 here. Okay. I was saying at the beginning that he was on the quiet side, but I'm not so sure anymore. Knight c5, and then we're going to retreat this one here. And that would be great to actually get rid of the bishop pair, because obviously, like, you know that the bishop pair in open positions is very strong. That's the reason why I play this. And now I play what we call a blockade, which means after a pass pawn, what you want to put is a knight, because he guards the pass pawn extremely well. So now he's trying to bother us with his pawn majority, but I don't think that it does much. I mean, especially if he plays b5, then I have the c5 square, for instance. And also I'll have, you know, like maneuvers like rook c8, knight e5. All right, okay, take. And now just this. He's gonna play, I guess, a move like rook c1 to try to actually play this, but we have knight c6. And now, yes, he has two pass pawns. He has less material because obviously we won the rook on f1 against a minor piece. But that's very dangerous, obviously. That's quite dangerous still. Maybe bishop d3 to try to target this one. I don't think that he has enough, but obviously he's very dangerous. So now he's trying to get rid of this. I mean, okay, I mean, if we take, And bishop take a6, the problem is that he will have c6. So that's a big problem. So what I want to do is just take on a6, and I want to block by taking on c6. I don't want to give him a push like c6, because he would have 2 pawns here, and that's extremely, extremely dangerous for us. So you have to be careful to not let this happen. Obviously, the problem that we have here is that all his pieces are active, and our piece, our rook on f8 actually is extremely, it's bothering us, right? So what does he want to do with the move like this? That's a good question, right? I still don't understand what the point is here. Okay, we're just going to consolidate actually this this square on c6 and maybe play bishop a8, bring the rook here. Once the bishop is here, guarding actually the knight on c6, I can move actually this rook here. I can put it on b8, and now I can bring this one here. That's the way I'm thinking here. So now I don't think that it does much what he's doing, because he's not attacking anything. So we're just gonna go rook b8 and trying to bring this rook into the game. But obviously, I mean, the position is complex, definitely. I still don't see actually how I can get rid of c5, so he definitely has compensations. Okay, now by talking, I blundered, because if I take on e6, he takes with the bishop check, and then he takes the knight. Maybe we have some tactic here by playing knight b4. We're attacking this, and there is a discovery actually on the knight. Let's see what happens here. I'm not doing too bad actually on the time, considering I'm speaking the whole time, which I find extremely hard, by the way. So now he decided to go absolutely crazy and just give everything. Okay, what happens on bishop takes c6? That's my first question. I don't think... Have I missed something here? Just bishop takes c6, I think is enough. Now he has all the pieces attacked. The bishop is attacked, the knight, and this knight. Okay, now we can simply take here because we're attacking the rook. And also that bishop was actually his strongest piece, so I think he should have kept it. And now he's not threatening something like this because it would be checkmate. So we can just play something like this to actually make him play a move like this in case he didn't see. And then you still have a checkmate. And he still has all the pieces. That's pretty funny because he has all the pieces, the minor pieces that are attacked here. So the position is totally hopeless. I have 1 minute though. I will try to actually finish the game. But I think he went a bit too crazy with the... So now we just take, and then rook take a7. I think that's fine. He can take with the bishop, but then I can take here, and he cannot still take the knight because of rook b1 checkmate. So this is the issue. Now this one is guarding against the push, so that's fine. And now we're putting pressure, as you can see here. So, okay, that was the point. We have this bishop that is extremely strong. And now there is maybe something like this. He can play d7. No, not really. If he plays a move like d7, for instance, I just come on d8. And that's fine. Now I can play this. And I don't think he has time to actually push, because obviously I take the material and then I come on d2, right? So, and just a move like, okay, let's go with check. Again. We have 39 seconds, so I have to be careful. Okay, and just a move like this, and that's fine, because he cannot actually take the knight because of checkmate. Okay, so that's over. All right, let's play another game. New 5 minutes. Yeah, the issue that he had here is that he gave the rook on f1. Let's play e4, which is not actually my my opening. I mean, I don't play e4 usually. I play with d4, just so you know. But let's try like this. I hope. Oh, he will. All right, let's go with this. So we just analyzed actually this in the last video. So that's pretty interesting. Knight d4 actually I didn't analyze it. There was something on this though. What happens on c3? Am I missing something? On a move like c3, or maybe a move like d6 is also interesting. Or maybe just castle. I guess if I play a move like c3, he's going to play a move like b5. And, you know, if I take the knight, he takes the bishop. Something like this. So, I think I'm just going to castle here. And I want to bring the rook on e1 and putting pressure. And yes, that was his point. So, okay, that's fine. You can take. If he decides to take the bishop, we just take. I don't think that it's a big problem. But he's going to play h6 after, right? I mean, that's his point. And if I come on f3, he plays bishop g4. Yeah, I'm not sure about castle in this variation. I'm not so sure about it. I think there was actually better ways to play than this. So I need to review the variation here. You see, when it's not actually your opening, it's extremely hard to know everything. I mean, I prepared, you know, this variation is called the fried liver, and I prepared, I mean, pretty nicely against it. But so now the knight is attacked. Do I play a move like d3, so the bishop actually is defending, or a move like c3? A c3, queen take, and then he will have like some tactics like bishop h3 and actually trying to mate me. So I have also a move like knight e4 that is interesting, but he may have moves like f5. Or maybe simply knight f3 here, but he will have bishop g4. Yeah, that's the problem. If I come on f3, he will play bishop g4. That's his point. So I think I want to play something else. Maybe a... Yeah, I'm just going to play d3. And I want to force him to play h6 before actually I retreat on e4. And at some point there are some tricks with queen f3, as you can see. But now the knight is here, so we cannot. But you know, we may have this kind of variations as well. So now, yeah, knight e4. But I think I didn't play the opening very well, because he will have f5 at some point, he can castle. So definitely there's a failure, so we're going to try to actually save it. As I told you, I mean, especially in Blitz games, it's extremely hard to play and be focused and play well. I mean, you know, I was asking, I have an interview with Vladimir Kramnik, the 14 world chess champion. That is, I think I will post the video on Saturday or Sunday. That's a very interesting interview that I will have with him, and especially after his match with Viswanathan Anand, where they played, you know, the no castling match. And he always says like Blitz is not chess, but I will also play a few games with him. But for, you know, for people who actually, you know, the purists, kind of like the big pros and the best players in the world, for them, Blitz, obviously, you don't have time to actually analyze everything. And for them, I mean, they like chess, that is the purest, that is like really long variations, etc. So, and yeah, they want to have time to actually think about everything. And this guy is thinking a lot, but I mean, he is still ahead, because I'm thinking a lot, but definitely he equalized, and I think like black is clearly better. He has an advantage. He has this move f5, like I told you. So he's doing perfectly fine here. Perfectly fine. Here, I'm just, I think taking on d5 makes sense, and maybe playing a move like rook e1. And maybe one day, maybe I want to play f4, because he will have f4 and f3. That can be actually very dangerous for us. So maybe a move like f4 next, yes. Would make sense here, maybe. If he takes, I take with the bishop, obviously. And yeah, what do we think about this position? Definitely black is much better. He has the bishop pair. He doesn't have any weakness really, and he has the initiative, which means he's the one who is attacking in the game. So yeah, we're just going to try to defend. We're trying now to just like take and now have a pressure on the f5 square with this knight and this rook. But yeah, pretty certain that there are ways here to play for him that are really decent. I'm not sure about e4. I think just taking, so now he's checking. King h1 is an automatic play. There is no target here, as far as I know. He would have maybe something like this to actually try to mate me. I'm just going to take, and maybe he has in mind a move like f4. And now I play knight e4. Yeah, knight e4, and maybe I will play something like queen f3, trying to exchange queens, or even maybe rook f3 and rook h3 is also maybe interesting. So let's see how he's going to play this. Obviously, if he takes, that's amazing for us, because he gives us the bishop pair. Let's see. That's interesting. I'm not sure about actually this push. I'm not sure actually about queen h4. I think that's a little bit premature. He had other ways to actually bring the rook in play, maybe. But yeah, let's see how he does. But you see, I mean, even if you play an opening and sometimes you prepared so much and your opponent just make you, I mean, he plays something that you just didn't prepare, it's not the end of the world. I mean, you need to prepare for everything, but sometimes there are variations that you just don't know, and you still have to play the game, because sometimes he has some like he creates a mental issue where you want to play the thing that you prepared. This is the thing, and it doesn't work like this all the time. So now I can play Queen F3. This is what I had in mind. We're going to have an issue. So we're putting pressure on F4. Maybe he can play a move like G5, because I don't see how he can defend this. All right. And now we have to find a plan. Maybe the first thing we're going to do is B4, because if bishop take B4, Queen B3 check, and we win the piece, right? So we can start like this to actually have some space. The problem that we have is this one. So should we play something like bishop B3, bishop B2 to actually have this diagonal? I think it would make sense. The only problem is when you put the bishop on B2, this square now is basically is free for the rook to enter. So that would be an issue. Also, does he have a direct target with G4 here? We would have Queen B3 check, and maybe a move like G3. So that's fine. No, because if we play B3, we don't have Queen B3 check anymore. So he would have G4, which could be a problem. Let's start with H3 and see. This is a prophylactic move. I mean, he can obviously still play his G4 after H5 and G4. I'm trying to make it a bit harder. This is definitely not a good move, I think. And especially now I can play B3, because if he takes here, that's pretty amazing. I play bishop B2 and I have an amazing diagonal. Okay, so I don't understand the move rook E8, but obviously he has G4. That is annoying. All right, I'm going to play E6, and I tell you why. When he plays G4, I'm not going to take. And here I'm going to play bishop B2, and when he plays a move like G4, I want to play Queen C3. That was the point. And now I have this battery that is extremely painful for him. So maybe he has to play a move like Queen G5. I don't know. But as you can see, I thought about this because I see that he is in time trouble. So definitely, I mean, okay, so now he has this. And now I can play, if I play a move like G3, I get checkmated, right? So now, okay. Should I trade queens by playing this? And that's also a way of playing, especially if he has like 11 seconds. Or I can play check, king here, check. And what does he do? I'm not sure. Not certain about it, but I think I'm just winning the rook. Obviously, I'm going to try not to get mated. But now check. If he puts the rook, I will come here. Okay. And now I'm going to play this. The reason is I'm trying to play Queen D8. And as you can see, I will win the queen. So he doesn't have time to play this. Because look. Queen check. Now he moves the king. He moves the king here, and queen takes queen. So we won the game. All right. That wasn't great. I need to actually review the beginning and of the fried liver and see how to play against knight d4. So as you can see, I played for 20 years chess, and still I have a lot to learn. So yeah, hope you liked it, and I will analyze the games in other videos. All right. Stay tuned, and I'll see you on the next one.